কি অবস্থা? হয়ে গেলে কি করব? হ্যাঁ, hello students, this is Sneha ma'am, and today we will learn about the various parts of speech, because in your examinations there are various questions which are like error detection, correction of sentences, and supplying the important adjectives and other kinds of questions like supplying the correct verbs, understanding modals. So for everything we need to know about the basics of parts of speech, and understand what function do they do. After that, we will talk about the important ones from your examination point of view. So first, let us understand what are parts of speech. Parts of speech are the words in a sentence which have a particular function. Each word in a sentence does a specific function in the sentence. So together they are known as parts of speech. We know basic 5 types of parts of speech, which are noun, verb, adjective, pronoun, and adverbs. Nouns are the name of anything which can be animals, objects, and any other random articles. They are usually known as common noun. In the sentence, whatever you come across, for example, I saw a cat. So in this sentence, cat is a common noun. Dog, tree, flower, these are all normal common names. Then there are proper nouns, which, as the name suggests, are the proper names of a particular person or a place. It can be John, Delhi, Taj Mahal, any particular location, city, names of persons, because they indicate someone proper. That is why it is a proper noun. Then names of feelings, for example, love, hatred, bravery, wisdom, because, and they are called abstract nouns. Why? Because what does the word abstract mean? Abstract means something which you can't touch, which you can only feel, and you can understand that, you can grasp its concept, but you can't touch it. So that is why these are abstract nouns. And there are some words like army or team. We say a team of players. So what type of noun is team? This is a collective noun. Why? Because these words denote something collective, a group of something. The word team denotes what? A group of players. Then I'm sure you've heard a pack of wolves. A pack of wolves. This word pack is denoting a group of wolves. So here it is a collective noun. These are the usual kinds of nouns which we come across. Then next we come to verb, about which we will be talking about in detail later in this video. But now I'm just telling you the basic definition and the function of this part of speech, that is the verbs. Verb is the action of the sentence, right? The action of the sentence. For example, in the simplest form, let us take an example like Ravi walks to school. In this sentence, the word walks. What is it? What function is this word doing in the sentence? It talks about the action of whom? The action of the subject Ravi. And Ravi, this word here, Ravi, is what? Again, a proper noun, because it is the name of a person. It is a particular name of a man, a guy. So, okay, now verbs. So, as I said, that walks is the verb of this sentence, telling you the action. Next, we come to adjective. And what is that? Okay, adjectives tells you more about the noun or the subject. About it qualifies the noun, right? She is a good girl. In this sentence, good is an adjective. Why? Because it modifies, or it tells you more about whom? The noun girl, right? It tells you more about the girl. What kind of a girl is she? She's a good girl. And there are again various kinds of adjectives telling you their classifications, like qualitative, quantitative, and various other kinds of adjectives, which we will be talking about in another video. But the basic thing is that the function of this adjective is telling you more about the subject. All these are important because you need to know which adjective to supply to which kind of sentence in which situation. And as long as you don't know what function do all the parts of speech perform, then you won't understand that why they are important. Okay, the next one is pronoun. Pronouns are used in place of nouns. Okay, like, take for example, there are 5 lines written about a guy called John. Okay, John wakes at 7 a.m. in the morning. John takes breakfast on time. John leaves for school at 8:30 a.m. Then John does his classes. John comes back to school by bus. John eats dinner at 9 p.m. John goes to bed at 11 p.m. Okay. Did you notice something weird in all these sentences? I believe yes, because all these sentences I use the name John every time, right? I used the noun many times, but this does not sound proper. In order to make it proper and good to sound and also grammatically correct, we need to use some words like he. Like, John wakes up at 7 o'clock. He takes his breakfast at 8 o'clock. He leaves for school at 8:30 in the morning, like that. So this word he is the pronoun. This word he is the pronoun. And there are other kinds of pronouns also, which tells you about the various functions in according to the sentences. They will be used differently, like same, some, many, few. Okay. Okay. And the last is adverb, which is the function of adverb is to modify the verb. Now what does that mean? I'm sure you have heard of ly words like slowly, peacefully, and other kinds of words. But what function do they do in the sentence? They for example, as you can see, I've written okay, that will be walks. Okay, walks slowly. The old man walks slowly. Take for an example. Okay, now what if you see it closely? Slowly is modifying the verb walks, right? So this slowly is an adverb. My daughter sleeps peacefully. So how is she sleeping? She is sleeping peacefully. So this is an adverb. This word peacefully is an adverb. So these are the basic functions of the parts of speech. Now, since we are mostly dealing with the examination point of view, and because there is a bulky syllabus and you can't go through everything, but yes, you should know the kinds of functions and all the basic categories of that, which we will be discussing later. Today, from your exam, I want to, for your exam, I think verbs and adjectives are the most important, because on an average there are almost 5 to 6 questions in the examination from verbs, and they are of various types of questions. Not all are same. In some you need to supply the correct form of verb. Okay, in some, in fact, modal verbs, modals are very important. We will be discussing slowly in this video only. So modals, you need to also detect the errors in the sentences, in the various sentences. You need to understand what kind of error have they made. So as long as you don't know what kind of what will be the correct form, and you don't understand the basic rules and everything, you won't be able to improve the sentences also, and also detect the error. So today, and for today we will be discussing about the verbs, the outline of verbs, which are important from the exam, okay, exam point of view. See, there are broadly, verbs are categorized into two kinds, right? Main and auxiliaries, as you can see. Main verbs, as I said in the previous slide, that of the parts of speech, that verbs are the main function, action of the sentence. That is the main verb. Yes, she goes to school. Here the word this is very simple. Goes is the verb here, because why? It denotes the action of the sentence. Walks, goes, any kind of action, whatever is going on, is the main verb. But what about auxiliaries? Auxiliaries again are of two kinds, which are helping verbs and modals. Helping verbs are used for helping the main verb, right? And according to the tense and person, everything, they vary. Their uses vary. Helping words are of three kinds. The be verb, as you know, is, was, are, were. According to is and are for singular. Okay. No, is and was are for singular, and is used for present tense, and was for past tense. Okay, are and were are both for plurals. Whenever we talk about more than one subject, we use are and were, but are for the present tense and were for past tense. This should be kept in mind. Either you can categorize as singular or plural, or according to tense, but I would suggest you classify according to singular, plural. Singular subject, we use is and was, and more than one subject, we use are and were. Okay, do verbs. Do are three kinds of verbs: do, does, did, and done also. That is the participle form. I forgot to write over here, but you should know the participle, past participle form of do verb. Okay, and have verbs, that is have, has, and had. So these are the these are the categories of helping verbs. Helping primary auxiliaries, they are also known as that. In for example, in passive sentences, right, you use I was given a plate of rice. I am going to school. So here, see what function is this sentence doing. I am going to school. See, the main verb is going, and am is helping the main verb, which is going, right? So am going. Together it is adding more sense to the sentence. So that is why am is the form of be verb only, which is used for first person, like I. Okay, in this way it is helping the main verb. Yeah, Acha, do verbs, they are used in, you have heard, in questions, right? For, like, for example, do you want coffee? Do you like maths? Do you love your parents? Any question kind of sentences we use do. In past tense, that the same thing is changed to did. Okay, did is that is also an action, and this is a helping verb. Okay, in have verbs, this have is used in perfect sentences like has, had, I had gone there before, I have done this before. These are the various forms of perfect sentences, right? Present perfect, past perfect. So these are the various forms. Now let us discuss about modals, as I have written. Now, which are modals? Which verbs are called modals? Can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must. All of these are modal verbs, and modals are extremely important from the examination point of view, because in most of the sentences you are asked to supply correct modals and everything. You need to know the form. So they are used in the various sentences according to possibilities, to denote these, to denote possibility, ability, future prediction, probability. But all the modals can't be used in all the situations, and they have some particular style of using. That means you can't use any modal instead of any other one, and you need to know which one is the correct use of what. Okay, so first we are starting with the use of can and could. Like I've written, in 2020 this question was given for error detection, right? The students were asked, the sentence was, I can swim very fast when I was 5 years old. So here I have just turned can swim into bold so that you can understand that this portion was wrong. But in your question you need to read it and understand. You need to find out, detect which portion is the wrong one, and why is it wrong. Often it can be given in the answers that you need to supply the right one. So in that case you need to understand that what form of modal you should be using over here. So the right form is could. I could swim very fast when I was 5 years old. But yeah, so this was a question in 2020. So now let us just study the uses of can. For mostly it is used for, denoting any ability. Like for example, I can solve tough maths, I can do this, I can um, climb the stairs very fast. For to denote any ability which you can do, some task which you are capable of. But there is an exception. Like as you can see in the question, this question is about some past ability. The speaker is talking of a situation when he was when the subject was 5 years old, so it is of a past time talking. So that is why here we use could. When we talk of past abilities, we use could. So that you need to keep in mind that there is a difference. When you're talking about the present time, you have to use can, denoting for denoting your ability, anyone's ability for that matter. But when the situation is about a past time, we use could. Okay, the second one is, any possibility, anything which I believe that it can take place. But you know what, there is again a shade of difference. It is only for theoretical possibility. That means not any solid and practical possibility. That means I can't say it can rain today. I mean, I think we usually get confused, because there is no fine line of difference na between can and may, as I've written in this and in this slide, that, but I will explain it how it is wrong. Because while speaking we usually do not pay attention to all these grammatical specificities, but for you, you're preparing for an examination. For for sitting in the exam, you need to score good marks and you need to crack the exam, and for that you need to know the correct answer. And for this case, you need to just know these small rules. For practical possibilities, it is always better that we use may. Okay, it is correct, it is grammatically more perfect that we use may. It is only for normal possibility, no. Just take the sentence I've written in the slide: I think my bike can be repaired. This is just a normal possibility, a theoretical possibility, not any practical one. So that something happening, rain, we are not saying it can rain today, we are saying that it may rain today. Yeah. I think my bike can be repaired. I know she can do this. I know you can do this. No, we usually motivate the some other person that yes, I know you can do this. So this is while denoting some possibility that we believe in. We believe that this person is capable of doing this, right? You can do this. Yeah. So these are the situations you use can. The third instance is offering help, which we often say, like, can I carry your bag? Can I help you? But yeah, for again, there is, as I said, there are differences. Like, you can't be using all modals, any modal in any case. For more formality, we use may I help you. Often we have seen this in malls and everywhere na, in shops and everything. But for casually offering help, because see, there are all these are all shades of differences. And finally, in the sentence, in the exam, you need to study the sentence yourself and understand that what sense is it carrying to me, how, and if it is wrong, and then understand that no, why is it wrong, why, because this word, so we don't use this in this kind of a sense, right? So yeah, offering help, any normal kind of help which we offer. And also asking for permission, can is used. Can I use your laptop? But yes, this is again not very formal. We this is just casual, casually offering help, casually asking for permission, we use can. So because for more formality, we have to use may, and for more politeness, we have to use could, which we will be discussing in this slide. Okay, could, see, because could is the past tense of can. Okay, remember in the previous slide, I said that we use could for talking of any past ability according to that 2020 SSC question which they gave. Yeah, because I can swim is wrong, it would be I could swim. So a past ability. For example, you know I could she could dance very well, but now she cannot. Or after that, she could dance very well, but after her accident, she cannot. So like this is something in the past. In the past, they were capable of this quality. They were capable of performing this task. So that is why could. Okay. Then some polite permission. Yeah, like could I use your computer? Could I use, okay, that will be your, okay, sorry, could I use your computer? This is again a permission, but yeah, more polite. Can is also not wrong. We cannot say that can I use your computer is wrong, but could I use your computer is more polite. It is all a difference of slight differences. This is just a difference of this shade, that how polite is this sounding. Okay, then could can also be used for something which did not happen but there was chance of happening, like any incident, in any unrealized possibility. There was possibility of something happening but it did not happen. For example, she could have easily joined that course. She could have easily joined the designing course. Just this is just an example. Take, you can change any part of the sentence. It's just for denoting that any unrealized possibility, whatever is there, we use could have. So yeah, but there has to be have, not could alone, could have. Okay, next we come to may. May is usually used for any probability of a current time, like it may rain today. Any uncertainty, they may be upstairs. The speaker is not sure of whatever they are saying. It There is a possibility, yeah, there is a probability. They may have done this. Only they may have done this activity. They may be upstairs. It may rain today. Yeah, this is a possibility of current time. Again, for a more formal kind of permission, as I said, permission has various kinds of shades. I repeat, can could be used casually. Could can be used politely, and for more formality you have to switch to may. Like we usually say, may I use the washroom, or may I drink water. In school, students usually ask. In malls we see, may I help you. The helpers, they usually say, may I help you, because why? They want to sound more formal. Yeah, so may is a bit more formal. It so and also for any desire or wish, may God bless you. When someone blesses us, so it expresses their wish. So in that all these cases we will use may. Yeah, and the other form of may, which is might, that's the past tense. We usually use that for any future probability, not the current time. Like I might visit my friend's house tomorrow. Or if you want it in the continuous tense, it can be, I might be visiting my friend's house tomorrow. Yeah, so this is something which has a possibility of happening, but in the future there is a probability of this happening in the future. Okay, yeah. The next kind of modals which we go to are will. See, will, you can take any example, like I will clean my room today. Here will is used in sentences, see, where there is a sense of determination, because already you know the word will, which we use as noun, the word will, will, has also a different meaning apart from being a modal verb, right? We say it with willpower, or she has the will to do this activity. She has the will to pass the examination. So what does this will, the word will here, what is the meaning? It stands it what part of speech is this? This is a noun, right? And what does that mean? It means determination, it means willpower. Yeah, right. So these kind of senses. So if in the modal verbs also we use will where there is a sense of determination. I will tell you regarding shall and will, what is the kind of thing you should follow without getting confused, because in the examination they might ask you. Yeah, and Yeah, so there is a sense of belief, a conviction. I will clean my room today. But for would denotes your intention, right? Would denotes your future intention. I would love to visit your house. We usually say to our friend, I would love to try your cooked dish sometime. I would love to try your cooking sometime. Like this. It denotes a future time, a normal opinion. I think he would also be invited at the party. In this sentence, the speaker is just expressing a normal opinion, right? Just and also for future intentions. Yes, so that uses would. Now, shall, regarding shall, let us keep in mind that shall is used for also for intentions, but a normal intention. I shall visit my granny's house today. And I just want to clarify that what difference will it make if you use I will instead of I shall, because both are grammatically correct, and there are high chances that people usually get confused and say that what difference does it make if I say, because in speaking it does not make very high differences, but for the sake of your examination it does make difference, because there are marks and you will lose marks if you select the wrong answer. So you have to be very technically correct in speaking. You don't need to be technically correct. It's desirable that you be, but it's not a must thing, right? Okay. Shall, in this sentence, I shall visit my granny's house today, it gives the sense of a normal intention which the speaker has of visiting their granny's house today. But if I say I will visit my granny's house today, it gives a determined sense. Again, just as I said, that there is always a sense of conviction, a force. There is you know a decided sense in the use of will. So that is why it differs. It differs how the entire sentence is turning up, or if there are, for example, suppose there are 2 3 sentences, right? And they need to, in the whole paragraph you need to correct all the errors and give the correct forms of verbs. So in that you need to understand that what kind of sense is it is it conveying to us. Yeah, so shall is in normal intentions, and will expresses a determination, a belief, a conviction. Would is for, as I said, future intention. Yes. Next is what? Next is should. Yeah, should is again a suggestion, right? We usually, when we suggest something to people, for example, you should read these books, or you should read the Oxford Dictionary for good English. This is a suggestion, right? So when we suggest something that the other person, they should do, we are not forcing them, but this is just a suggestion which we are giving them. So then we use should. You should go to bed early. Then also for duty, we should take care of our parents when they are old. This denotes a duty, an obligation which we should perform. Like this, in these kind of senses we use should. But what is again the difference between should and must? Because often people get confused, because there is not a very large difference, but yes, there is a difference. And what is it? The difference is of the strength of suggestion. Must means which has to be followed. Has means something which there is no other option which the person has, and they have to do this, right? In fact, there are some other kinds also which of modals, like we also use need to, and need to means there is a dire need. means there is an immediate need of performing this. You need to take your medicines on time. Means the other person, the one who for whom the sentence is being spoken to, in this case, see, there is no other option for the person than not to take the medicine, right? They can't do it without that. So we say that we need to take the medicines on time to get better. Yeah. So, and in must, what we usually see, in must they use a strong suggestion which should be followed. You must brush teeth twice daily, which is important to follow. Should is just a suggestion. We can only suggest people with should, but when we say must, must is something which they have to do, which means there is an importance behind that. This is a strong suggestion, like that. And according to the sentence, according to the importance of the I mean the force of the sentence, what kind of case they are used in, because all kinds of modals, even if they don't have any difference, can't be used everywhere. So in that kind of a case, you need to see that what is the sense of the sentence that I should be using this modal, right? So these are the usual kinds of modals which are asked. And apart from that, apart from these verbs, there are, because these are the auxiliary verbs which we discussed, so these are the, because most questions are asked from here. And apart from this, there are some other kinds of verbs which are non-finite and finite verbs, which are under the main verb category. As I said, the verbs originally had two kinds of different category: main and auxiliary. Auxiliary had again two kinds of classification, which were helping and modals. Helping auxiliaries and modal auxiliaries. Helping auxiliaries were, as I said, be, do and have. And under this auxiliary, we use can, could, and as I said, they will be used in specific cases, as we already discussed, right? In ability and what ability, past or present, possibility, probability, everything. And apart from these, from the examination point of view, there are important questions coming from non-finite verbs, which are infinitives, gerunds and participles, like that. Infinitives always has to and the base form of verb. For example, Ram loves to read. Here, to read is what? To read is not the main verb. To read is just the idea of verb. Okay? It gives you the idea of the action. To plus the base form usually presents an idea rather than the main action. And there are participles, correct forms of participles. You need to understand that what it is used, because in participles it performs the work of a verb plus adjective. Okay, the sleeping girl is my sister. Here this word sleeping, see this, it is formed by using sleep plus ing, but sleep means and what function does this do in the sentence? It is doing the activity of a verb plus adjective, because it is actually qualifying or describing the girl who is there, right? That is why. And also as adverbial clauses, like breathing heavily, the man arrived at the police station. So how is the man breathing? He is breathing heavily. But together, if we take breathing heavily, this phrase, that is a participle, because they are acting as an adverb. And in gerunds, they usually they perform as verb and noun. in gerunds, the sense is that of a verb plus noun, because we often also see sentences like smoking is injurious to health. In these kind of sentence, what smoking is acting as the subject of the sentence, but at the same time we know that this word is formed with a verb plus ing. So this is a gerund. This is also doing the work of a noun and a verb. Yeah, so yes, these are the usual kinds of things which we see. And thank you for listening to the video. In the coming videos we will be discussing the important topics of grammar, because you will be having to understand the kinds of errors in the sentences and correct them. Yeah, thank you.